Good morning, Brae Community Church. Pastor Peter Edward Matthews was with you guys a couple years back. I'm so glad that your pastor gave me this opportunity to share. And yet, my sharing is my angst. It's my pain. It's my sorrow, because yet again we find that the nation is coming to part by it seems on the issue of race. What am I to do with this frustration? What am I to do with this anger? Do I turn back the hands of time and become mindful of when I was accosted because of the color of my skin? Or do I just come to church and act like nothing happened? And yet, Scripture reminds me. It reminds me in the Gospel according to Matthew, the 21st chapter, the 13th verse. It says, "Then Jesus went into the temple and threw out all of those who were selling and buying there. He pushed over the tables used for currency exchange and the chairs of those who sold doves. He said to them, 'It's written, my house will be called a house of prayer, but you've made it a hideout for crooks.'" And maybe that's what we're getting at right now. It's not so much of the racism that's embroiling our nation, or perhaps on 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, but what about the races that are hiding out in our churches, hiding out in the pews, hiding out in the choir lofts, maybe even hiding out in the pulpit? It's time for us to stop hiding. Why? Because Psalm 51:8 reminds them, "Let the bones that you have crushed rejoice again." This t-shirt is the Sankofa bird from West Africa. It simply reminds us to return and retrieve it. That the same way God humbles us in our private and personal devotion, let us now come together from the east, the west, the north, the south, black, white, rich, poor, gay, straight, and come together in a humble fashion and know that God is not tearing us apart, but let's use this opportunity to be drawn closer together, not just for our children, not just for our community, not just for this nation, or even for the universe. Let us come together because God's name depends on it. I can't wait to see you again. But in the meantime, if you see a crook, pull him out of hiding. God and I are waiting on